Addiction, at its worst, is akin to having Stockholm Syndrome. You're like a hostage who has developed an irrational affection for your captor. They can abuse you, torture you, even threaten to kill you, and you'll remain inexplicably and disturbingly loyal. Anne Clendening. Many people know that certain substances can lead to higher cancer risks. Tobacco, alcohol, and illicit drugs can cause various forms of the disease. However, many don't know that cancer can cause a different disease: substance abuse. Plenty of cancer patients end up addicted to drugs or alcohol due to pain or fear, using it as a way to cope with their state. Opioids are often prescribed to cancer patients to help with pain and other symptoms. Sometimes, those patients can develop an addiction to the medications. The percentage of cancer patients who develop a morphine addiction is thankfully low, but not zero. And like any drug addiction, it can ruin not only the abuser's life, but the lives of those around them. Cecile Bombeke was born sometime in 1933 in the village of Overmere, Belgium. Unfortunately, we don't know much about her life there or her family. She likely grew up in a God-fearing home or had her own positive relationship with spirituality, as Cecile expressed her interest in becoming a nun at the age of 15. She followed through on her chosen path and entered the Apostolic Congregation of Holy Joseph near Wetteren in Flanders. Changing her name to Sister Godfrieda, Cecile lived in the cloister and devoted her time to her faith. She was well-liked and gained a reputation for her piety, hard work, and leadership. Cecile spent her time working with the elderly of Wetteren. The church placed her at the Wetteren Hospital, where she oversaw the geriatric ward. Through her hard work and faith, Cecile rose quickly in the ranks. She became the geriatric manager at the hospital and Mother Superior of the convent. Everyone could see her devotion and excellent behavior. But even the most devout encounter hardship. Sometime in the mid-1970s, Cecile was diagnosed with brain cancer. Doctors discovered a tumor that would need to be removed. The surgery took place in 1976 and was technically a success. The tumor had been removed and Cecile was alive. However, the procedure left Cecile with lasting pain, and the consequences would ruin not only her life, but the lives of many around her. Trying to manage the pain in the aftermath of her surgery led to Cecile developing a morphine addiction. Her entire personality changed in a short time, and Sister Godfrieda was no longer the pious, hard-working individual people once knew. Cecile's addiction was an expensive one, and she became obsessed with getting money to fund her habit. She started hitting on her fellow nuns and took 2 lovers. One was a retired missionary priest, and the other was a nun who taught at a Wetteren school. Cecile lived together with the nun in an expensively decorated apartment near the hospital. Both the priest and the nun enjoyed extravagance. They loved to eat expensive food and drink vintage wine. Cecile was eager to indulge their tastes and took them to fancy restaurants in nearby Ghent. With her new habits and bougie tastes, Cecile was constantly trying to get more money. She started stealing from her elderly patients. Over the course of 1 year, she took items and money, embezzling over $30,000. Drug abuse and theft were not the only criminal activities Cecile participated in. She also took to abusing the patients in her care. Though the extent of her abusive behavior is unknown, it was reported that she would rip catheters out of her patients. When a catheter is inserted, a small balloon is inflated on one end to keep it in place. The balloon is much larger than the urethra, and when the catheter is forcefully removed, it can cause trauma, bleeding, and severe pain, and sometimes lead to infections. During the year, Cecile also added cocaine usage to her laundry list of bad habits. Eventually, her behavior and conduct became so bad that everyone realized what was going on. Cecile was suspended from her duties in August 1977 and sent to a private hospital in Ghent to undergo a form of rehabilitation. Unfortunately, she returned to work in January 1978, completely unchanged. It was suspected that the woman she had been living with was bringing Cecile drugs during her stay in Ghent. The church and hospital, suspicious of Cecile's actions, started taking notes before they sent her away. They noticed that in the previous year, 21 patients had passed on a ward that only held 38. So, on January 16, 1978, 3 Apostolic congregation nuns entered the Wetteren police station with their allegations toward Sister Godfrieda. Sister Petra, Franziska, and Godive came to the police saying they had observed Sister Godfrieda drinking to excess. They also provided evidence of her frequent morphine and cocaine use. Godfrieda's frequent trips to Ghent to eat at expensive restaurants and drink premium vintage wine were detailed, as she should not have been able to indulge as often as she did, if at all. The sisters also informed the officers of the abusive corporal punishment they and the other sisters suffered at Godfrieda's hands in the convent. The most serious allegation the sisters brought to the police was the murder of 87-year-old Maria van der Gunst. Maria was a diabetic and died from a severe hypoglycemic attack after being given too much insulin. Dr. Jean-Paul Decourte, a member of the Wetteren Hospital Governing Board, had been the one who launched the investigation into Cecile. He said, "When 21 of 38 patients die in 1 year, it is too much." The evidence provided by his investigation and the statements from the sisters allowed Belgian police to arrest Cecile quickly and easily. She was originally only charged with forging medical prescriptions, drug abuse, and theft. While Cecile was in police custody, she casually admitted to murdering 3 people. She claimed she overdosed all 3 on insulin because she felt they were too difficult to deal with at night. Cecile told police she did it sweetly, and they did not suffer. When Dr. Decourte heard Cecile's confession, he said, "It could just as well be 30 people as 3. Following the confession, Belgian police formally added 3 counts of murder to Cecile's charges. A judge ordered a crew to exhume the bodies of Cecile's 3 victims, plus 2 others. In March, Cecile was committed for psychiatric observation to determine if she was capable of standing trial. Meanwhile, autopsies were performed on the exhumed bodies. The results did not reveal any significant elevation in the insulin levels in Maria van der Gunst's body. Her other victims were 82-year-old Pieter Digman and 78-year-old Leon Meofer. At the end of Cecile's observation period, it was determined she was not capable of standing trial. She was ruled insane and committed indefinitely to a psychiatric institution. There was no other information available after her sentencing, so it is unknown if she remained institutionalized or was released before her death in 2019 at a care facility in St. Joseph, Bruges. She was 86 years old. Cecile's actions gained her some infamy and notoriety. A movie called Killer Nun, an Italian nun-sploitation film, was a loose retelling of the woman's crimes that came out in 1979. Cecile was an unfortunate case. Before her diagnosis, she was a well-liked and respected member of her church and community. Through no fault of her own, her tumor removal resulted in a personality shift and opioid addiction. Her inevitable downfall was the last chapter in the story God wrote for her. Unfair, but unstoppable.